going to ask the town clerk to please take the roll call. Councilman McCuskey?
Here.
Councilman Hoyt?
Here.
Councilwoman DeShane? Here. And Supervisor Brundle? Here. Okay, our first order of business tonight is a bid opening for the paving project. We have 4 sealed bids that we received. We'll be opening them right now. The first bid is from Bacon, 510 South Street, Hoosick Falls, New York. Okay. The bid documents appear to be in order. Okay. Bacon bids for the Town of Grafton Phase 1 Town Hall Front Parking Lot and Transfer Station Access Road, $68,189.25. And Town of Grafton Phase 2 Highway Department and Firehouse Parking Lot for a total of $110,258.55. Do you need me to repeat those? Okay, the next bid is from Del Signor Blacktop Paving Incorporated. This bid is for $138,025. $138,025.
For the whole
This
project?
This is not separated into Phase 1 or Phase 2. And it's just the attachment C bid form he used as a submittal form. So we can look that over more closely. The total amount is $138,025. Okay, TD Paving, if I have that right, 944 Luther Road, East Greenbush. TD Paving, it seems to be.
Yes.
Okay. All right, the bid from TD Paving is for $167,899.54. Again, that's $167,899.54. And that's from TD Paving. Okay. And the last bid that we've received is from HMA Contracting Corp. And the bid from HMA Contracting Corp is $153,630. I believe how we're going to proceed with these is to have them reviewed by the highway superintendent.
I think the clerk was going to be nice enough to scan them in, send them out to all the board members and the highway superintendent. Superintendent was then going to carefully review them and then make a recommendation to the board. The board would then get together for an emergency meeting next Thursday or Friday for 5 minutes to choose the lowest responsible bidder that meets the criteria there. And then the board will hopefully have someone ready to pave that parking lot.
Okay. All right, I will give these to the town clerk right away. I know some people here tonight are the bidders, so thank you for coming for the opening.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Good night, guys.
Good, you're there. Feel better.
I'll go over the they're not enforcing,
And I would note for the record, the supervisors put all the bids back in their original packaging, and it's now been delivered to our town clerk.
All right, the next order of business tonight is the review and approval of minutes from our town board meeting of August 12th, 2024.
And August 17th is also, you guys also got that. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
It was on there and then it was taken off.
Okay.
They were included in the,
So we're approving the minutes tonight from our regular town board meeting of August 12th and then our special meeting of August 17th. If no one has any issues with the minutes, I'd like to make a motion to accept the minutes. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Lefebvre. Usually do that with a
All in favor?
voice vote. All in favor, that'll work for me. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right, we have reports and remittances from department heads and town committees this evening. The August financial reports were prepared for the board and posted to the website by the town clerk. We have the town clerk's report this evening.
offering the report on behalf of Vicki. The town clerk fees have brought in $384.87. The trash brought in $3,006.54. Building permits were $415. Youth, including
The bottom.
That was the out-of-town fees.
the out-of-town fees, was $1,770, for a total of $6,270.54. The checks were issued to NCON, the Health Department, and Ag Markets for $694.13, and the check to the supervisor was $5,576.41.
Okay. All right, I'd like to make a motion to accept the clerk's report. May I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. All right, is that it? Do you have anything else for town clerk? No? Okay,
No.
gotcha, okay. All right, the highway superintendent.
Got the roads 90% prepped for paving next week, so looking forward to get that done. Been out mowing. Other than that, most of the roads are in pretty good shape, but there are a few out there that once the paving is done, we'll be back out grading roads. You know, there's a few that certainly need some attention, but other than that, the guys are doing an awesome job and just all's well, really. You know, I'm just looking forward to get the paving done because we've already started working on plow trucks, so there's that. Anyhow, nothing other than the paving really to report. And the mower continues to run. You know, just try to get that in our spare time, which doesn't happen. So, other than that, nothing really to report.
Okay, anyone have anything for Jared? No? Thank you. All right, moving on to town assessor. As most of all of us know, we lost our town assessor in August. Craig Surprise passed away after many, many years of service to the town. In light of that, the board was faced with filling that position and having business of the assessor's office continue to flow smoothly. So we made an appointment of an assessor named Roberta Stone. She started effective September 1st. Her term will finish out Craig Surprise's term, which is ending at the end of September 2025. And that's when every assessor in the state's term ends. And there are many county officials that work in real property tax services who also have their terms end at that point. So this was a smart, solid way to keep that office flowing. Roberta's been in, or she goes by Bobby, she's been in and done work. She's worked well with Linda, and Linda's been very helpful transitioning from Craig over to Bobby. So we wish Craig's family well, and I'm sure everyone will be seeing Bobby over the next several months. And then we'll move forward next year to appoint an assessor for a full 6-year term. That's how it works in New York State when you have an appointed assessor. Okay, buildings and code enforcement officer?
We have 47 building permits out year to date. Still, new construction is very robust. Anybody lives on Babcock Lake Road, the old bread barn is down now, so that was a little thing. Thank you, Phil, for helping with that. Buildings, we had April Park here for the septic system. The old pipe that comes from the bathroom is an old cast iron pipe. There's a dip in it. We're gonna try to come up with a plan to see if we can get plastic either through that pipe or replace that. It does go under the building here. We can get most of it done here. The senior center, I did fire up the heat last week. The furnace has come on, and the next day they were not working. So Trojan is up, working on them today before the heat season gets here. You can't get anybody. I did talk to Supervisor Gunner and the board. That furnace is 18 years old down at the senior center. We may think about upgrading that. It's a pretty complicated old system, and I think it's money well spent.
Okay, thank you, Tom. The planning board, did Martha drop off something? I thought I saw her.
Sorry, I didn't get
You
nothing.
didn't, okay, all right. The rescue squad submitted a report. You didn't say, okay, you got it.
I have two, you want one?
Two. I have one. Okay. The rescue squad for August had 24 calls, 94 hours. They traveled 517 miles. They transported 13 patients. They had 3 patients that refused medical assistance, 5 canceled calls, 1 standby. They had 5 alphas, 3 bravos, 6 charlies, 6 deltas, 1 echo, and a fire call. They gave mutual aid 3 times to Post and Kill, and they received mutual aid once from Petersburg while they were on another call. We transported to Samaritan 10 times, Southern Vermont Medical Center twice, and St. Peter's once. So that's your report.
Thank you.
Yes. All right, dog control officer,
I didn't have any balls.
you didn't have anything for August?
I don't think so.
No? Okay. All right. Okay, good. Youth program director.
Well, I had a survey, since this was started up again, I thought I'd put a survey out to the parents. It was posted on the town page. It was technically just for the parents, but it didn't matter. If anybody else felt led to answer the questions honestly, that would have been fine. So overall, everyone was very excited about it and happy with it. The counselors got a very good rating. The kids enjoyed it. I asked about the time frame. Is the 5 weeks too long, too short? Most said it was just right. Some wanted a little longer, maybe all of August, you know. Okay. And then I asked if they wanted to donate supplies, donate their time, those kinds of things. So we got a real positive feedback from the parents. And they gave specific examples to the things that they appreciated about what was done. I did ask about the building that we used. I asked about Grafton Lake State Park as a location as well. The swim program by far was the biggest draw, even for the non-residents. And then they were very familiar place with the Grafton Elementary School there. They appreciated it, the convenience of that. Some minor, like the food, what kid wants a turkey sandwich, on a ciabatta roll, I don't know. But, so the food overall was pretty good with the Rensselaer County Food Program. And they took care of us every day with milk and everything else that we needed. So that being said, I did purchase some more bins to gather up all of the stuff in the room up there in the building. So it is ready to be transported to another spot should the building be rented out and we need to find another spot for it. So everything's in a bin and can be easily, tossed into a storage unit. So that would be my next step, at least for myself to continue to procure a safe, dry, convenient storage unit for the youth program that hopefully would be more permanent, either right here and, somewhere around this area. And then the next step was asking about transportation vans, see how much they would cost, and see if that would be something to include in the budget for the youth program. Since the building situation is varied, it would be great to have something secure and safe to transport kids from one point to the next. If they can meet at one location, and then we can use the area to transport them. But that's just my ideas. We'll see what happens, and budget and all that kind of stuff. Trying to think of what else. Is there anything else moving forward? Because that kind of concludes the summer camp program. Moving forward, I would like to do something with the teens or have something monthly, but again, not having a secure location for them. Obviously, we could meet somewhere and send out a text or Facebook page petition and email to have them meet at a certain place, like the movies or something, but, and I may still do that. The library has something going on in September, and the trunk or treat is scheduled for sometime in October, so at least those two things are going on. And I did try out the pickleball net, by the way, that is, you can take out at the library. Very easy to set up at the basketball courts. We had a lovely Sunday afternoon hitting the ball around. So, I'm open to a lot of ideas, but I am wondering what to do next.
So on the trunk or treat, so are you working on that yourself?
Tomorrow I'm meeting with Leanne, because and Madonna, I believe, they did that last year. And so we're just going to discuss, they'd rather put it back into the youth program hands, which makes sense, I guess.
And where are you going to do that?
They did it at the state park last year, so if that's still available, and then a date, but again, that has to be set.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah.
And I'd just like to say thank you. You did a great job. I'm there every day, as you know, with new staff and a lot of new kids and everything. I think it ran very smoothly. The building was maintained fine. The reasoning is I have some work to do on the building. I just don't want to make a commitment. I got to get my recirculators rebuilt, which is a major thing for the heat. I just don't know if I'm going to have heat like I normally have and everything, and some water things I have to do. The window blew out in the gym, so we're going to replace, fix them and replace them. So I just couldn't make a commitment if I had a big mess to clean it up when there's a project. But hopefully we can continue. Just that was my reasoning for the winter time. It was tough.
Yeah, and it makes sense to prepare. I mean, I appreciate the heads up, because that's a lot of stuff in there, and it can be preserved and used, so it is.
Yeah, we want to thank you for the use.
Yes.
It's great to see.
Yeah, you weren't
kids
here
there.
last time. You weren't here at the last meeting. We said thank you.
Should be here right now, but I'm here. Yeah, no, the program will be very well.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Laura.
Thank you.
Thanks, Lauren.
The Recreation Committee, I don't see anyone here, and I don't see a report. So, okay, I know they've got a few things they're working on, but we'll nail them down next month. The library, Leanna sent us a report, statistics for August 2024. There were 1,007 books checked out and 292 ebooks. There were 369 adult visits, 55 children, and 22 teens. For August programming, they had story time, Bat House building, 2 sessions, summer reading program, and the Run for the Roses. A pickleball class was held, and the library purchased a portable net, paddles, and balls that can be signed out at the library and used at the basketball court that has pickleball lines. The library received a $12,000 grant from the McCarthy Charities Foundation. This grant was used to purchase and install a Generac generator, safety lighting, and drainage. Zumba Gold started tonight, September 8th, at 6 p.m. at Roxborough Holdings, and there are still spots available. Kids Off the Bus starts on Monday, September 16th, and the library will be hosting a teen night on Friday, September 20th from 6 to 8 p.m. Games and refreshments will be provided. Respectfully submitted, Leanna Sweet, Library Director. Let me thank her for that. The State Park, they've sent us their September programming. I know they've got Park and Brew coming up this weekend, but I know we can get their, they have a page on our website that we can get that uploaded to for park programs. All right, Senior Citizen Representative. Oh, did I not bring that down with me? I don't think I brought it with me. It's up on my desk. Shoot. Okay. Well, with apologies to Diane Payne, she did drop off a report that I'm sure we can get included in the minutes. And the Merrymakers representative. I see Linda here. Yes.
I'm here.
Yes.
Kathy should be coming back at some point, hopefully, and she'll be back at doing this, but with the broken leg, it's probably hard. So, Wednesday, September 11th, the meeting will start, or I'm sorry, the dinner will start at 5:30 p.m. And I believe that's going to be pizza. There's going to be a brief meeting at 6:30 p.m. So, we are going to have a guest speaker. And that's something that we're really trying to encourage, to have guest speakers so they can come in and talk about a variety of things that, you know, from safety to health insurance to, you know, anything that concerns them. Casey Bates will be coming in. And Casey told me that there's been a lot of Medicare changes. And she said some of them are pretty drastic and that will definitely affect some of the seniors on Medicare. So she's going to be coming in and talking about those changes. They'll be taking effect in 2025. And she also wants to see if there's anybody that has questions, those that are becoming eligible for Medicaid, Medicare. So she just said, you know, please let everybody know, come in. If you've never joined the Merrymakers, been to the Merrymakers, you know, I know Ann Calabro's here, and it's a pretty friendly group. You know, there's no arguing, easy going. So I think with Casey being here and talking about what's coming up and the changes, anybody that wants to know about these changes, Casey's a pretty nice gal. October 2nd is the Racket Lake Senior Bus Trip. And when I say senior, that's 55 and up, and probably if you're 54, they're gonna let you on the bus. So we go to Racket Lake, and then we take a really nice cruise, and I'm hoping that the leaves have begun to change, and it's really pretty. The chef that does the buffet on that cruise is amazing. So when I say it's a chef-prepared luncheon, it truly is. There is a cash bar available because, again, we're on a bus, so it's safe to have that morning Bloody Mary. And you need to contact Kathy. In the past 2 weeks, I did get quite a few more reservations. Well, people actually drop money off. Kathy has their name. So from what I understand, there's a few more seats available. Give Kathy a call, 518-279-3231. And the bus is free, and that's compliments of the town. It's $50 a person for the lunch. And again, it's fantastic, as is the dessert and those homemade chocolate chip cookies on the way home. So again, in the future, for the rest of this year and in the future, we've talked about different things we can have. And a couple people in the group mentioned that safety, well, in shopping parking lots, that's becoming a huge thing. And I think a lot of people don't stop and think about, as you're walking through a parking lot, wondering where you're going to put your groceries and what time you're going to be home, and the fact that you want to stop at Dunkin's for coffee. Somebody could be watching a senior wondering how quickly they can knock them down and grab their pocketbook. And it's things that people don't think about, including myself. But we want to start doing some, bringing in maybe somebody from the state police to talk a little bit about that. And just things to make people aware of. What should we be looking at? Where are we safe? Should we have a pocketbook? Do we need it around our necks, or what do we do? So just some things that we can talk about to help the senior community. Again, merrymakers, I don't want to even say seniors, it's 55 and up. I'm well over that, but I still feel I can take down somebody grabbing my pocketbook, but not everybody can, including me. But, so, we just love to see some new faces and, keep things going.
Great, so it's Wednesday, the 11th at,
It starts at 5:30,
Okay.
and Casey Bates did say she's gonna come in. So she's gonna be available right at the beginning of pizza hour to start talking to people. And then she'll probably carry that a little bit through to our meeting, because there's so many questions about what's going on with health insurance this year with seniors, well, for 2025. But you gotta be able to make that selection, in the next couple of months. And, you don't wanna find out that a drug that was covered now is gonna cost you $60 instead of a freebie. So I think, I love to see this stuff, because I'm on that.
great. Okay, so 5:30 your meeting starts and then dinner is after.
Dinner, well, 5:30 dinner, pizza, and she'll probably start talking, because, we don't make it late. We don't want people driving home at 9 o'clock. Yeah.
Perfect, okay, good deal. Yes, and we have your written report here too, so thank you.
Thank you, Linda.
Thank you very much. Okay, then moving on to communications received. We have a letter from Mr. Robert Loveday regarding the town hall paving project. This was actually received back in June and then resent to me to be read this evening. During the June 10th town board meeting last month, the board put forth resolution number 49 that includes paving the parking lots and roadway of the Grafton town buildings. It is the largest and costliest project proposed this year. A successful town project must be a balance of good value and reasonable cost. This project provides good value through increased safety and efficiency for town employees and residents. Each section that is prepared and paved will cost tens of thousands of dollars. Tom Litkuski mentioned using a piecemeal approach due to its size. I suggest paving the most important area first and the remaining areas in the future. My reason is twofold. First, the project cost is very high and needs to be spread out over several years. Second, given the cavalier interest by the board in spending this quantity of money, it seems more logical to also spend a smaller amount on a yearly pay rate for a secretary to the supervisor. Dollar for dollar, the return on investment for this position is much higher than that of the paving project. The secretary could research grants to offset the future paving costs. I strongly encourage the town board to fund a supervisor secretary position in the 2025 budget. Town employees who have an assistant should be encouraging the reinstatement as well. Respectfully submitted, Robert Loveday. Thank you for that, Mr. Loveday. The second piece of correspondence this evening is from our Historical Society. Dear Supervisor Gundrum, the Grafton Historical Society requests use of the Everett Wager Senior Center on Saturday, October 19th, 2024 from noon to 8 p.m. for their annual fundraising event, the Wine and Cheese Festival. This will include time to set up, hold the event, and clean up. Thank you for considering this. Ann Kiley, President, Grafton Historical Society.
What was the date?
October 19th from noon to 8. So the festival is, I think, 4 to 8, 4 to 7. And I put on a motion that we could pass this when it comes time for motions and resolutions. Because that's, they have it there and it's their main fundraising event. And it's always very nice.
It's been there for years.
19th, yeah. This was an interesting email. This actually went to the town clerk's office from a gentleman named Alan Johnston. Hello, I was wondering if it is possible to receive permission to metal detect in the Grafton Town Square between the post office and the Grafton store for the purpose of finding old coins. Any digging would be minor and repaired to look undisturbed. Thank you, Alan Johnston. My thought was just ask the Historical Society. I mean, if there's, liability, right? Yeah. You want me to ask our insurance company or
I
just?
believe the same gentleman that comes up to the school all the time.
Oh,
I mean, he digs a little hole, puts it right back. So
Right.
it's negligible.
a little divot. Okay, all right, well, that's an interesting request. I can certainly ask our insurance carrier if that's acceptable. And then the fourth piece we received that I didn't have on the agenda because we just received it this evening is to the Town of Grafton from the Board of Ethics, September 9th, 2024. Town of Grafton Council members. Dear members, as required for the position of Ethics Board vacancy, 3 residents of Grafton have expressed interest in serving on the Town Board Ethics Committee. They are Betsy Colvin, Brendan Scanlon, and Linda Russell. Mike Smith and I interviewed all 3 and found each of them uniquely qualified for participation as members of our group. It is notable that none of the applicants' family, political, or business relations or connections in the town of Grafton. All had a desire to serve our community. Mike and I agree that all would be a welcome addition to the Board of Ethics, and we are available to provide more details about these candidates. Best regards, Donald Raymond and Mike Smith. So, we can meet and discuss that. Definitely. So that's for the 3rd vacancy, or the vacancy for the 3rd position on the Ethics Board. Okay, anyone else have correspondence received?
No.
Okay, all right, under new business, as we went over earlier, we have the appointment of the town assessor. So that has, that's happened and Bobby's in place. We had the resignation of town council member Rebecca L. Green to the Grafton Town Board. Please accept this letter of resignation from my position as town council member effective September 1st, 2024. Then we have we made an appointment to the vacant position of town clerk and registrar of vital statistics after conducting interviews of the 4 timely applications we received. And the appointment of Rebecca Green was made to the town clerk position and also registrar of vital statistics. In the course of the previous town clerk's resignation, she had also tendered her resignation for dog control officer. And it was the recommendation of council that inasmuch as Vicki has decided to stay on as dog control officer, that we would need to do a resolution reappointing her, which we did on that same emergency meeting we had. So Vicki remains entitled as dog control officer. And then the next new business I had was scheduling our 2025 budget meetings. All department heads now should have their call letters that I sent out. If you need fresh copies, just let me know. Those are due back to my office by the 20th of September. And then the tentative budget gets put together and I have to have that to the town clerk by September 30th. At which time she has 5 days to get it back to the board for our review. So we'll need to schedule a workshop, probably the first weekend in October, if we could do that. So far, just that, yep, just that one, yep.
When do you want
The first, what's 7, 6, 5, October 5th would be a Saturday morning in October. If we wanted to just meet and have Becky give us the budget and, you know, have our preliminary look through.
Okay.
Saturday, October 5th,
What time?
early, 9? That work?
Yeah.
9, okay. Okay, it shouldn't be super long. Yeah, we can take a look, and then we can go from there scheduling subsequent meetings, if that works for you guys.
Yeah.
Okay, under old business, we had paving of town property, which we've certainly gone over tonight and opened the bids, and Attorney Danaher was gracious enough to tell us how we're proceeding with that. The rescue squad did CPR training. It was super well attended for Grafton residents. I haven't heard if we're thinking of doing another one or. Okay, gotcha, gotcha. But I think that was a good thing that the rescue squad provided to the townspeople. Okay, the wind damage claim for the Everett Wager Center, that is still pending. I know we're trying to book Travis Coakley before it gets, you know, he's starting to wind down, right? Okay, okay, a little bit?
Yeah, he wants to get that before, you know, the roof, if he has to move shingles or you don't want there, he wants to be fairly good weather.
Okay, alright, so those repairs
At
are
least
still
the
pending.
cool level.
Okay. And then the emergency alarm system at the town hall, that was a project that Councilwoman Green worked on. I'm Do you
We
want
did the 3 quotes that you said you guys might decide to include it in the 2025.
in the 2025 budget, right, okay, perfect. So we still have those 3 quotes on hand. Okay.
I don't know, I wanted to do this under new business, but I can the deputy town clerk, I'm gonna keep Aaron Bars as my deputy town clerk. I'm wondering if we could possibly do Vicky for 2 months as also a town deputy, for the transition. Being that there was 2 months where she didn't have a deputy clerk, so we do have the funds to cover the 2 months in the budget already for personnel services. If that would be something we could do.
Yeah, I think by law, you can have
You can have up to 3.
up to 3, but whether they're paid past the first one is a board decision,
She can appoint one.
right?
You can appoint the second one. And if you have funding, you can fund it at the same level as the other deputy.
Right.
But I think you can only
And
appoint
it's
one.
temporary for 2
No,
months.
according to the town clerk's book, she can appoint 3.
I can appoint 3.
She can't have anything above 3.
I don't know if that's correct
But
for
the town
funding
board
purposes.
has to approve the
money.
the funding for the second person. Which there is funding.
So they would have, unless you want to work for free.
I would
No.
work for free, I don't care.
And I think they're contemplating maybe
There's money
appointing you for
there.
2 months, but it's up to you guys.
I'm just making a suggestion.
I'm fine with it, because if the money's there, like I said, we're
Because
going
there's
to
2 months.
2 months.
Well, I looked at the budget, and there's $6,232 left on the personnel line. And we're committed with the $5,568 between Aaron and I already, which leaves $664. So if you did the 2 months at the $250.
And that's there because it was unoccupied for a time? The position was unoccupied, okay, I got you, so funding too.
Right.
What would the board's action be at this point, Phil?
Well, I'm researching it real quick on what more than one. I was only aware of one being the amount that she could appoint as clerk. So if she has the other person as the regular deputy town clerk, I would simply have to cover our basis that you appoint the second deputy town clerk at a compensation rate of whatever you say.
I see. I can do 250, because that would be 500. And then that would still leave the $164 leeway.
Would that have to be done with a resolution or a motion? Phil?
Motion, you could do it with the motion.
First on the note.
They would have to do a roll call on the motion.
That's on the motion.
That's if you guys would be willing to do that. I know we kind of talked about it that day when we did the interviews.
Okay. Understood. All right, under new, so we're, all right, any other new or old business? Okay, we're on to public comment, which is privilege of the floor. It's 5 minutes per person. The public comment portion of the meeting is a privilege. Please direct all comments and statements to the town board. Please refrain from any personal attacks, name calling, and derogatory public comments toward individuals. And there we go. Who'd like to start? Patty Bush.
I just had a question. I was unclear about the deputy town clerk. So there would always be 2 or just 2 for the transition and then 1 starting the beginning of the year? Is that, you're not gonna always have 2 clerks, right? Deputy clerks?
No.
No, it's just gonna be for that transition period. Okay, and the other question was, what happens with this board seat that's available now? When does that get filled, or, you know, do you take applications?
I can answer
Or-
that. January 1st, 2025.
January 1st, yeah.
So you have a vacant seat
A
until
vacant seat,
then?
and we're still, because we're 4 and can have a quorum, we can operate that way, with a vacant seat.
And just so I'm not being too cute with that answer, they do have the authority to appoint someone else in for now to the end of the year. They could do that tonight, they could do it after the election is over and you know who won, or they could just wait to January 1st. 3 choices.
Okay.
So for now, we've chosen to be a board of 4 and see what the next few months hold. So, good question. Okay, Linda Labway.
I just want to thank the board for meeting and appointing Bobby Stone as quickly as you did, because this is the time when we're starting to gear up for STAR, and people are going to begin to call, and I know what's coming, and it gives us an opportunity for her and I get to know each other, and she's got a great personality. So I just, want to thank you guys for all appointing Bobby, and as sad as it is to have to lose Craig, the town still needs to go forward, and I think she's going to be, a really, really good asset to the assessor's office. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for that vote of confidence, definitely. Okay, who else from the floor? Sandy Hasbrook. Here.
Well, actually, Herbert Hasbrook,
Herbert Hasbrook.
retired highway superintendent.
There you are.
Everybody's been following along. People are talking about it. Nothing's being done. I'm coming to this board to start maybe process looking into it. Nobody wants to stop anybody from buying land or purchasing land, the land conservancy, the plateau land. Everyone has a right to sell their land. I've done a little research on some of that because the parcels that are being bought are so big. It's going to affect everyone in this room, the highway, the fire department, our schools. The taxes, come off the board. So at the same rate, our taxes are going to, you guys didn't stay at a 0, we're going to go up. There's no question about it. You can ask everybody around. This is how that works, okay? So our taxes are going to go up. I know our board does not want that to happen on our seniors and everything else. I've done a little research on it, not a lot. Actually, the board would have to ask the town attorney maybe to look deeper into it. Some of the offsets you can do is a higher application charge. That would be, there's other perks that you can't charge for, like the fire department, I found out, because they are a tax entity of the town. So you can't ask for extra money for them or the rescue squad, but you can do a larger form for them to get qualified to come in. You can go into certain details where you can request them to set so much money aside to offset the taxes that they're taking. And you can also look at, there is some state money to offset some of it, and some federal money. I'm not sure, it's in the 20 or 22%, I think I read, state level. Federal level was only like 7 or 9%. But moving further ahead, I hear there's other big places gonna be sold or turned over because people can't afford their taxes now. And the land conservancy is great, don't get me wrong, the plateau. But it also hurts everybody in this room and every resident that you guys represent. So I would ask the board at this time, maybe start a little project and looking into how we can offset some of this as we move forward. We definitely don't want to keep chasing people out of town. We want to welcome people. The highway department needs their funding, and if if it's going up naturally, the taxes, and it limits him more, fire department, the rescue squad, such as that operate in this room, this town room right here, right now. So if we really think about it, it's time at least to start trying to put a project in place, working on it, see what you can come up with. Like I said, I did a little research on it. It gets kind of complicated as you get into it, and the only thing in that application form is you have to treat everyone the same fare. If the county wants to take land, they have to have the same application form or something else that goes into a non-taxable entity. You have to kind of treat them all equal. So something to look at. I'm just putting it forward to you to start, because eventually, I know my school taxes went up again because I know everybody else's has some. Eventually it's just going to keep creeping until you won't be able to afford to live here, and I'm sure this board doesn't want that. So I'm asking the board maybe to set up a little committee to start looking into this. Other than that, that's all I have tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Who else tonight from the floor? Anybody? Yes? No one else? And Barbara. Okay.
I did a little reading about the town clerk and her deputy a year or so ago. And I seem to remember that it said you can have one paid clerk, paid deputy. You can have 3, but the other 2 are not paid. So I don't know how that works. If you guys want to fund it, that's fine. But I think in the code it says that there can be 2 more that are not paid.
Well, actually, I had time to research it.
Okay.
And take a look at New York State Town Law, section 30. And then what you do is you go down to, is it subsection 10, talking about first deputy town clerk, etc. And then it talks about up to 2 more being able to be appointed. But it's totally then up to these guys as to what their duties are and what their compensation is.
Okay. I knew I read
And that's
about
10
it.
sub B.
Okay.
But no, I focused on the same thing. I remember 1 being the amount you could appoint, but Becky was right. There is a subsection that says 2 more could be appointed, but really they're people that you control as town board as far as what their duties are and what their compensation is going to be.
Okay. So now the rest is written. After watching the town board meetings for the last 4 years, I've seen things done that are just this side of legal and just that side of unethical. While we no longer have the in-your-face bullying and obstructionism of Mr. Lewandowski, the current board has continued its shenanigans. For those who have lost track of what has occurred, I've made up a short timeline. Mr. L actively worked with the ethics board, which is supposed to be impartial. I don't think they've done anything except file the paperwork with the DA against the supervisor. I also thought that they could assign their own people. I didn't think that you guys had to do that, but I don't know. Mr. Lewandowski gave up his seat so that he could run for the supervisor position. He lost, and he's no longer a problem. Ms. Green lost her bid to remain on the bench after serving for 20 years. So, number 1, Ms. Burdick hired Ms. Green as her deputy, which is called nepotism, but was allowed by the Ethics Committee and the town lawyer. Mr. Beaudry gave up his seat because he was told he could not have 2 positions in town and remained in the recycling and trash collection position. 2, Ms. Green resigned her position as deputy clerk and was installed on the board in the opening minutes of the following meeting, effective until the election in November without any input from the town people. Then Ms. Green lost her chance to be on the ticket for an elected seat on the town board in the upcoming election. 2.5, I kind of number these weird. Ms. Burdick subsequently resigned her position as town clerk at the end of the July meeting, effective September 1st. Paperwork was delayed by 2 days, just long enough that the deadline to have the post put on the ballot passed. Who is the person who keeps track of these deadlines? Number 3, a call was put out for applications for town clerk. 5 were submitted, although 1 was received after the deadline and was disqualified. Interviews were arranged. Ms. Green was allowed to be present for each of the interviews, which seemed a little bit odd, I don't know, but she was chosen to be the next town clerk immediately after the last interview, thereby bypassing the election process and denying the town the right of electing the next clerk. Ms. Green resigned her position on the board effective tonight and is now installed as the town clerk. Vicki has remained on as dog warden. Number 5, Mr. Mithkuski brought in many people that he worked with over the years, saying his job as code enforcement and building inspector was invaluable. As he now had 2 town positions, a local law was instated saying he could in fact have 2 positions. Why couldn't this have been done for Mr. Beaudry? Seems kind of that it was done specifically to keep Ms. Green in the forefront of the town workings. And 5.5, as a sidebar, Mr. Mithkuski owns the Eastwood Press, which is one of the papers of record for the town. So he stands to profit from any advertisements or announcements that the town publishes, and seems as though that should be deemed a conflict of interest. The town board members were elected by the town to work with the supervisor for the town. As an observer, I can pretty definitively say that I don't see this happening. I see 4 members of the Republican Party working together as a bloc to deny the supervisor a secretary, again, I'm going to hammer that, and to make her job more difficult. I've seen votes that went against personal feelings to go along with the party. Once you're elected by the town, your party affiliations ought to have nothing to do with your job. I see members saying they will get things done and then never making a move to see things to completion. It took over a year for the post office stairs to be fixed and a threat from the Postal Service to get it done. The senior building roof and cupola, I think it's called a cupola, still haven't been repaired, and yeah, I know it's been submitted to the county for insurance, but didn't someone say it could be fixed quickly? The assessor's office didn't get an air conditioner for the majority of the summer, and whenever townspeople come to these meetings to have their say and to be actively involved in the town, our comments are disregarded and often actively scoffed at. While I have no problem with any of you as people, I'm very disheartened by your attitudes and actions. My wish for the future is to see active cooperation and ethical behavior between the board, the supervisor, and the residents to make life better for all of us up here on the mountain. Life is too short for these petty arguments and vendettas. Get over yourselves. Do what you were hired to do. We, the people of Grafton, are paying attention. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, anyone else tonight? No? Okay. All right, thank you, everyone. Okay, now we have motions and resolutions. We have, our first one is resolution number, okay, well, my alarm goes off, okay. We have resolution number 57, which is, is this the non-pro-tunc? No.
57 is the non-pro-tunc, where the contractor was changed
Yes.
to do the road that goes into town of Hoosick.
Yes, okay, resolution number 57 of 2024. Whereas the town of Grafton desires to accept the attached quote under the town procurement policy for the indicated services. And whereas such approval is determined to be in the best interest of the town of Grafton in that the same vendor is providing services to the town of Hoosick for the portion of the project of the subject road in such adjoining town. Now therefore be it resolved that on behalf of the town of Grafton, the quote attached hereto is hereby approved on behalf of the town of Grafton, nunc pro tunc for the indicated services, and this resolution supersedes any and all prior resolutions concerning such services.
And this actually resulted in a savings to the town over what the initial contractor was going to do the job for. This contractor had agreed to do the job already for Hoosick. So the superintendent, in a best interest of the town analysis, chose to go with the Gorman Brother bid, which was lower.
Okay, I would like to make a motion to adopt resolution number 57, nunc pro tunc. Can I have a second? Second by Councilman Hoyt.
Brothers listed in there.
Oh, it's in the attachment.
Yeah. So we have a
You have a
motion made and
motion made,
seconded by
seconded?
Councilman Hoyt.
This one is going to have to be a roll call.
Councilwoman DeShane?
Yes.
Councilman Lukowski?
Yes.
Councilman Hoyt?
Yes.
Supervisor Graham?
Yes. All right. And now we have resolution number 58. This is the one authorizing budget transfers.
Jared, is this the one that you were talking about, which was the extra CHIPS money, or is this a different one?
No, it's not extra CHIPS money, it's just, Gorman was right there.
No, time out. They
Okay.
moved on to another resolution that, I don't have a copy of the resolution, but it says authorizing budget transfers, and it says it's on behalf of the highway department. So is this possibly the one that you were telling me about tonight?
Yes.
Oh, so this is the CHIPS one. So to make a long story short, the highway department received almost $350,000 above, which was what we thought was coming in from CHIPS money. So
Right.
you're asking the town to accept the added revenue and move it to the appropriate appropriation lines.
Right.
All right, I didn't have it before, and I didn't see it up attached online. So that's why I didn't realize it was the same one. So you can move forward if you want to.
Jared, what's your comfort level with it based on the discussions we're having?
I went over it with the bookkeeper and a couple others. I just wanna be doing everything by the book
Right.
and be in the green, so it's.
Well,
all
the
in
key
up
thing
and
is, the money has been received by the town already?
up. Well, we got the letter, sure.
Oh, you just got the letter, not the money yet?
Right.
I just want to make sure.
Yeah,
We got it straight
yeah.
here. So you're accepting just the anticipated monies, we don't actually have the monies yet.
Right.
Are we definitely gonna get the monies?
Yeah, every time we get a letter, they pay up.
All right. Because if there was any chance you may not get the monies, I would tell you to hold off.
What's the time frame on usually receiving it?
Well, it's the same as every year. We get it mid-December. It's really just, we've rolled it over a couple of years and 18 months is max.
So you don't have the money yet? Then I would wait on it.
We never have CHIPS money until, CHIPS money never comes into you.
The only reason I'm suggesting they wait is because in case there's any further movement on the amounts.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
So,
Whatever, I'm just trying to be as up and up as I can, you know?
Okay, so we're gonna table?
this is just moving into the other lines, not actually spending money, it's moving. Becky's question basically is based on the resolution submitted, you have the money coming in the revenue side, which is normal, and then being moved over to the expenditure side, not actually spending the money, but putting it in lines to then later spend the money.
Yep.
So what I'm suggesting the town board do tonight is, since we don't have the revenue side, the money, just hold off until we get the money.
All right, yeah, I'm just trying to be as upfront, as honest as we can, so,
No, these down here are transfers into lines.
yeah.
So if you need to pay bills now, the money's not here yet. You're gonna have to
Well,
look
that
for,
other money is here. The lower stuff is there. Only the CHIPS line is not here yet.
well, then this resolution is wrong, and so you should wait until
I'll just
we get
rewrite
it
it,
right.
that's no problem.
Rewrite it without the added CHIPS money.
Okay.
Okay, so still they're not gonna go forward tonight, because this is wrong.
Okay, so we're tabling resolution 58. Mark your calendars accordingly. Okay.
Do you want them to vote on that? Usually for a motion to table, since you're not spending money, you can do it with a voice vote. It's a motion to table, second, all in favor.
I'd like to make a motion to table resolution 58. May I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, Tom?
Yep.
Okay. Gotcha. So all in favor.
And you're gonna do the same with the next one, I think, because you're thinking about maybe going in a different direction for funding, or what are you doing? And I'll explain it to the audience.
Yeah.
All right, so basically, we have some leftover ARPA money, and you have to earmark that money by the end of the year. So one of the things the board was thinking of doing is maybe earmarking it and doing a grant program, which is the only way we could then do what essentially is a mutual assistance agreement between the fire district and the town. But we have enough money in the fund balance that they could also do it just that way with a mutual agreement and then not have to do a grant program, which involves an extra layer of complication in running a grant. So I think the board tonight is going to look to spend the ARPA money maybe in other ways, like on enhancements to the various buildings they own, the paving of the parking lot, things like that, and look to do the mutual aid agreement through maybe fund balance transferred in the budget. Did I say it the right way? Okay. So you're looking at a motion to table resolution number 59. And then 62.
As long as you can get his money.
All right. I'd like to make a motion to table resolution 59. establishing a grant program. May I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilman Kuski. All in favor?
Aye.
And then the next one, it's not that you're not gonna award a bid for parking, but you want some time to look over those bids that you just opened tonight.
And we're gonna meet this week?
Yes.
It would be suggested, because of the season, that you try and do it on Thursday or
Right.
Friday as an emergency meeting.
Thursday's fine with me. Good with you guys.
Yeah, I'm good with Thursday.
What time?
5 o'clock?
5 o'clock, okay, Jerry?
No, me, I never make it home anyway.
Okay. So
Which one are you gonna do first, tabling or setting up your emergency meeting?
Oh,
Which one do you wanna do first? Table?
Table first.
So do you have a motion to table? Anybody make the motion to table this
I'd
one?
like to make a motion to table Resolution 60, awarding the bid for the paving project. May I have a second? Second by Councilman Hoyt. All in favor to table?
Aye.
And now if you wanna make a motion to schedule an emergency meeting for, what'd you say, Thursday
Thursday, the 12th? Thursday, November 12th at 5 PM?
and for the purpose of further reviewing the bids and recommendation from the highway superintendent and possibly awarding the bid.
What did I say, October? I said November.
I think it's September. We all thought you said September.
Okay. September 12th at 5 PM. Is that, can you make that?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. Yes.
Okay.
I don't know about Tom on Thursday, but
Maybe here, okay. Okay.
Do a roll call on this one. Roll call on this one.
Just establish a meeting.
Emergency.
Yeah.
You're not gonna have time. You won't have time to do a regular special meeting for notice.
Over an emergency. All right, Councilman Lukaski.
Yes.
Councilman Hoyt.
Yes.
Councilwoman DeShane.
yes.
Supervisor Grunberg.
Yes.
Okay. Then we have 2 additional resolutions tonight. At an earlier meeting, the board and the town council had been requested to look into speed limit reductions through the village, and that requires a letter to come from the highway superintendent, and then it's also signed by the town clerk. Councilor Danaher has walked us through this. It's a letter that has to go to Regional Traffic Safety and Mobility for them to consider dropping the speed limit in the village. So the copy of the letter that we will use is attached to this. This just gets the ball rolling, so it's basically just a business resolution. Whereas the town board of the town of Grafton would like to request a linear speed limit reduction on State Route 2 between Simon Road and Shaver Pond Road due to safety concerns, and has reviewed the attached letter requesting such linear speed limit reduction, and good cause appearing therefore. Now therefore be it resolved that the town board of the town of Grafton hereby authorizes and approves the execution and filing of the attached letter requesting such linear speed limit reduction on behalf of the town of Grafton. I'd like to make a motion to pass resolution number, what does this become now?
61.
61.
61, thank you. May I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Lukaski.
Councilwoman DeShane.
Yes.
Councilman Lukaski.
Yes.
Councilman Hoyt.
Yes.
And Supervisor Grunberg.
Yes.
And what happens next is the DOT Traffic Safety Office could respond by saying, no, we're not going to grant your request, or yes, we are. If they say, yes, we are, we start this long 6-week process before the final order, they call it, gets filed with the Secretary of State. So even if they're favorable on this, you're going to be 2 months away from actually being able to have the state post signs with a lower speed limit. So that's why you wanted to move this forward.
Tonight.
Yes.
Great, gotcha. Perfect. Okay. And was that the last additional?
Well, the deputy town clerk one.
Yeah, we had under motions, right? But it seems like we had one other.
You did.
What was it? 61 was for the
awarding the
speed.
bid.
No, was there another motion they talked about doing earlier?
The wine.
Wine and cheese.
Wine and cheese,
Oh,
that's
wine
it.
and cheese. Okay, as long as we don't have another resolution on that. What a night. Okay, oh my gosh. Okay, I would like to make a motion that the Grafton Historical Society is able to use the Everett Wager Senior Center on Saturday, October 19th, from noon to 8 p.m. May I have a second? Second by Councilwoman DeShane.
Councilman Chakowski,
Yes.
Councilman Hoyt,
Yes.
Councilwoman DeShane,
Yes.
and Supervisor Dunn.
Yes. Yes. And then we have another motion that was proposed tonight for the town clerk to have a second deputy clerk. And she's
A temporary though. I think
Temporary.
it's only temporary, correct,
2
Becky?
months.
2 months.
for 2 months,
September 1st for September, October,
September through October.
At a compensation rate of
$250 a
$250
month.
$250 a month. And the duties are to be as a standard deputy town clerk. Just, they have to put that in their motion. So it'd be essentially having a second deputy town clerk
Mhm.
for $250 a month for 2 months, September 1st through October 31st.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion that the town board approves the request of the town clerk to have a second deputy clerk for the period September 1st through October 31st, 2024, at the compensation rate of $250 per month, and the duties to be consistent with those of the deputy town clerk.
Correct.
May I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Councilman Witkowski.
Councilman Chakowski,
Yes.
Councilman Hoyt,
Yes.
Councilman DeShane,
Yes.
Supervisor Dunn.
Yes. Okay, any other motions? Ms. Farmer? All right, I'd like to make a motion to pay the bills.
Supervisor Leonard,
Oh,
can I just ask a question in light of the fact that we didn't know about that speed limit? Honestly, are we just wasting time with that? Because it comes down to the simple fact that if you don't have law enforcement in town enforcing that speed, it's not gonna do anything.
right, that makes sense, Vicki, I get it. I think-
And the same thing with crosswalks. I get their safety concerns completely, okay? But I think you're just wasting time and energy. We don't have anybody to enforce them. And I'm not saying that they're not a good idea, but you don't have anybody to enforce them. New York State is not Massachusetts, where Massachusetts, I mean, they are rigid on their crosswalks. But I just think it's kind of a waste of time and energy, and I understand we can look into it and it's great, but it's not gonna change anything for these people. And I think that we need to be honest and upfront with them. Or speak with the state park police, who can sit up there and just issue seatbelt ticket after seatbelt ticket. Why can't they be sitting out on Route 2 and just controlling traffic through that area sometimes?
And Long Pond Road.
But
Okay, I don't think there was any harm in this, and again, it might not come to anything.
exactly, but I'm just
DOT might
saying.
just say, no, we're not gonna do it or entertain it, but, I think it just shows good faith on the part of the board to, you know, we were requested by a townsperson to see what we could do. So I get, okay, now we're back to public comment. Let's
Okay,
have-
I was
I didn't mean
gonna,
to, but.
I was
Yeah,
just
wait,
gonna ask
he's in the
you.
back first, hold on.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
It's just an opinion, you know? If you have crosswalks, you lower the speed limit, it can make a difference in one person's life. If it makes a difference in one person's life or one child, it's worth it. Something to think of.
Got it, okay, all right, thanks for that too. Yes, Pat Bush.
Just one other quick thing. Before, I don't understand something. If you only have 4 board member for now, what happens if you vote on something and it's 2, which probably will never happen, it's 2 to 2? Who makes that?
We have a duel.
Who
It
does
does not pass. It does not pass.
Well, the park is on
I just figured, I
No,
know.
we would be deadlocked and go down that way on whatever issue it might be. It would just be something that we
Well,
deadlocked.
like I said, I don't think it's ever gonna happen,
Right.
but it was just, I remember when you first
Right.
said
Hopefully we
it,
can
yeah,
communicate
okay.
on things and
Yeah, I think
we'll
we're.
be fine for a
yeah.
couple months.
But thank you for that.
Just wondering.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna pay the bill. No, what?
Just one quick thing, I forgot to tell Tom, there's, the next to the last board on the ramp coming out of the senior center is warped, and there's a lip, and someone's gonna catch their toes on it. You might wanna see if there's some way you can level it out.
They're right on my top of the list.
You better make your motion quick.
Okay.
We did try to.
We're also gonna be looking for volunteers to
Jared
paint the
and I
benches,
tried
so if you'd
working
like to
on
go
that.
down and paint.
All right, let's get
Yes.
back.
All right, I'd like to make a motion to pay the bills as audited. Tonight we have vouchers number 318 through 344 for a total of $33,743.15. I'd like to make a motion to pay the bills as audited. May I have a second? Seconded by Councilman Hoyt. All in favor?
No.
Spending money? Good.
Councilman McCuskey,
Yes.
Councilman Hoyt,
Yes.
Councilman Shan,
Yes.
and Supervisor Bowman.
Yes. Yes. We did the motion to schedule the emergency meeting, right?
You did.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's gonna be this Thursday at 5 o'clock, okay. The next meeting will be this Thursday evening, an emergency meeting that we've called at 5 PM. And then after that, the next meeting will be October 5th at 9 AM for a budget workshop on Saturday. And then the next meeting after that will be our regular town board meeting, which is going to be held on a Wednesday, October 16th, in deference to the Monday holiday. So it'll be Wednesday, October 16th at 7 PM.
We're checking one thing. Did you guys make a motion for that workshop?
I don't think so. We did it that's what I was thinking we didn't.
May want to make a motion for the workshop,
We may have, based on this.
but I'm going to defer. So if you could,
We backtrack?
Yep.
All right, I'd like to backtrack and make a motion that the town board schedules a budget workshop meeting to be held on Saturday, October 5th at 9 AM at the town hall. May I have a second?
I'll second.
All right, a motion we can voice.
this is a voice vote. You're not spending money.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Okay, so just to reiterate, our next meeting is an emergency meeting this Thursday at 5 o'clock here. Then our meeting after that will be the budget workshop, Saturday, October 5th at 9 AM here at the town hall. And then our Wednesday, October 16th meeting will be our regular town board meeting, scheduled to Wednesday from Monday in deference to the Monday holiday. All right, legislative privilege, anyone? No? All right, this evening we are adjourning in memory of James Jafari, Christina Gordon, Jenny Hamill, William Snyder, John Craig Surprise, David Gilchrist, Frank Ryan, and Charles Still. I'd like to make a motion to adjourn. May I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Wow. Good meeting. Thanks, guys. Thanks, everyone.
Covered a lot.
Back to the television.